Alrighty, hello everybody, and welcome back. If you were on my last live, if you were not and you didn't see it, definitely go check out that one because it was a real honest moment. I am Shakia, the professor of Sillaholics Anonymous, which is where we are today. Honestly speaking, which is our product line. We also have a YouTube channel for that product line as well, where I do demos of different creative things. We also have an academy, 365 Creative Academy, where I have classes on different design things, uh, um, using Silhouette Studio, business classes, all that kind of good jazz. So, in my last one, which why am I still small on this one? Let's go here. Well, this particular design. So, on my last live, I was showing this mug and I said, I was asking what type of design do you want to be? They want to make SVGs, they want to make their own designs. But what does that mean? Like, do you want to customize it? Do you want to be able to, like, if I took this, did you want to be someone that can have these elements and arrange them to create it if it was already made for you? Or do you want to be one to know how to create each of these elements? And that's what I'm going to show in Silhouette Studio. We are going to basically recreate this, and I'm going to show the steps that it will take to do a design such as this and how to create each and every one of the elements that we see here. It's not going to be like exact because without putting it right over it, but what are the steps to create something like this? So it's going to be creating each element and then arranging it. All right. So that's what we are going to do today. I'm going to jump right into this and head over to here. Actually, I'm going to put my picture right here at the bottom. And we're going to start because I got to be able to get ready for my class tonight. I'm going to start with the easier one, which is this section right in, excuse me. We're going to go with this right in here, this part. All right. So how will we create that? That's going to start with a simple square. And to make a perfect square, you're going to hold down Shift and just pull. So now that's a square. I like to fill things with color. And there's more than one ways to do this. This is not to say that this is the only way to do it. There is definitely more than one way to do this. But this is going to be like one of like the easier ways to do it. So we're going to zoom in. Actually, you know what? I want to see this. So I want to see it in something Hollywood Kia. All right, let's crop so that I can pull this up here and actually see it. All right, so here's the first one, right? We're going to make some duplicates going down. So that's what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then we're going to take this and duplicate it to the left and to the right. So we're going to go, let's see, we're going to go duplicate it. I like to use keyboard shortcuts, but there's like replicate tools. I'm just going through this as a designer and how fast I would end up doing this. So we're going to go like this and like this. I'm here. I'm going to click here and here, here and here, and delete those. And then every other one for here and every, not every other one on those. So I'm going to delete those. So then this, it's wrong thing. It's 1, 2 on this side, 1, 2. So here we're going to do every other one. And then for this one, it's every other one. And then this is, there we go. And then here, I need this one. So nope, 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 nope. Delete. There's that one there. So then we would group this together. That's the one element. And then how it's on the mug, we're going to do this. And that is creating that it will be replicated to create the connection. So that's the first part, right? So the next easier one to do would be, let's just do the ones up here. So I'm going to make a square. I want to rotate that 45 degrees. And I'm going to do a series of, hold on, I want to see this. So all right. So we have here, and then we're going to go over to offset and do an internal offset, and then an internal offset, and another internal offset. This, if I fill it with color, is like that. I'm going to make it a compound path, and I have that. So it's fairly easy to do. But if you don't know how to design, it's like, I just want to know the elements to be able to do it. And I mean, I could have gone in a little bit more to give me more space. So if I just end up doing another one, release compound path, weld. So we're going to go internal, and I'm going to increase that some to about there. And oh, I still made it too big. But that's basically, you can see different, different ways. And that's why I was saying, like, sometimes you may end up making this a couple different times to get the right exact like size and look that you're looking for. But for the most part, that's how that is made. And then there's going to be like a way to cut it off. Then for this part, I technically can use this same one to now create this section right here. It's kind of thin. This is much thinner. Yeah, all right, we're going to make our lines a little bit thinner. So let's release compound path and weld it all. And internal offset. All right, I'm going to go offset. .5. And then this one, internal offset 0.05. All right, perfect. And compound path, perfecto. All right, we're gonna release compound path real quick because this one, I almost forgot it. So we're going to do an internal offset, and I want that to be 0.05. All right, apply. I'm only going to take all of this and make it a compound path. This, we're just going to sample this color. And then we're going to take here and cut it off right there to right there. Somewhere in there. And let's do this. Release compound path. And oh, come on. What do I have there? Okay. Never mind. All right, let's copy. And crop. It's a little bit different in like Illustrator. You can do like it's slightly different. So why are you still? I'm missing my element for the top. It's not giving me what I want at the top. Let's see. Okay, you know what? Let's do it like this. Let's go here and here. There we go. Haha. And offset. Take this down. We were at what? 0.05. Let's go 4.5 for this one. Select it and make compound path. There we go. And then this one, I can cut off. I'm just going to use my knife tool for this one. Bam. And like I said, in other design programs, there'll be different steps, but for the most part, like this is just me going through it really fast. And one thing I hate about Select Studio is how it does. It's in the new version, you can make this a corner, but in this version, it's just kind of weird. So I'm just going to push that out. And there are easier ways to do this, like in Illustrator and Corel Draw, but this is just the Silhouette version of it. So now I have that element. So now we have our top element. We have this element. We have the next one. This is pretty much the same. We're going to use the same one. It's just smaller internal pieces. So let's crop this just so that I can see it. So we're going to do an internal offset, and that'll be the first one. Then I'm going to do another internal offset. I need to bring that smaller, another internal offset, but I'm going to make that a thinner line. And then internal offset and like that. Select it, make it a compound path. Bam. There's that one. And then a couple ways I can make this. On the wrong knife tool. Let's go solid and straight. Like I said, it's actually it's quite a few ways that this can be done. I'm just doing this kind of fast, a little quick way of doing this because there's actually quite a few ways that this can be done. Oh, come on. I'm going to do this a different way just to make sure it all stays. All right. That's that element. So now we have that one. Of course, that's a line. And then this is just a regular what the heck? Who's in front? Bring to front. Subtract. There we go. All right. Those are all of my elements. So we've been doing that for about 16 minutes, give or take some hiccups, just to create the elements for it. So now, oh, and then this one technically, well, we'll just leave it whole. You can, it always can be cut off. So then this, it would be duplicating it. You know, whether you do it one time to duplicate it to go across. And then let's make this proportionate to this one. And we're going to and there's other ways again to make this faster, but I'm not going to give you guys all of that because that's how I teach in my academy with using like your replicate tool. I'm just going to do this the kind of sort of quick way of doing it. And then let's group these together. That was next. The next one are these. So the first part was the one creating all the elements. So imagine if, okay, you had images or SVGs of each one of these elements. How did you get moved? So there's a difference between knowing how to make each of these pieces versus, okay, you got a file or you traced, like you had the vision for it and you traced or you had an SVG or whatever of all of these elements, and then you go in and you arrange them. So there's a big difference between a designer that can make the elements, or I have the elements. I just want to know how to use Silhouette Studio to take these elements and make my own pattern from it, or, you know, and to customize it. So we'll start there and we will make duplicates of this. And then the next line is this one. And then there's this one. And then there is just a regular line. And then and this is just like me kind of okay, as a designer, I'm like, okay, I like this pattern, right? So someone who designed this was probably like, all right, I like the way this pattern looks, you know, I'm okay with it. Now, how do I get it to fit, you know, this page? So now it's a matter of spacing. So I'm going to take a 12 by 12 box. Let's say it was just a pattern. So we're going to go 12 by 12. I'm going to put this here. Of course, we definitely going to have to make this smaller. Or you know what? No, let's make it even smaller. All right, so we can actually repeat the pattern. So I'm going to start this like here. And there's a couple different things as far as like where do you put it at to like have it repeat itself, which there is a pattern maker in like certain programs, and it will create this for you to where it'll make the patterns line up. And I'm going to do this myself manually. And actually, I don't even know that they're lined up like that. Hold on, let me see. This is in between two elements. So this actually falls about here, I think. No, not really. All right. Space it. And I'm just going to group those and center it. And then this one, it is kind of sort of like right there. So from here, group them. All right. And I probably need one more of these to finish this off. And then it will be some other steps to like trim all this off. I'm not going to worry about trimming it all off, but then if there was like a background that was made for, I'm just going to make mine just pink and Send it to the back. I'm just going to force mine to kind of close into this, just so that you see like it is creating individual elements and then arranging them, adding different backgrounds. So that was like, I mean, I did pretty good. I actually did that in under 30 minutes. So it was like 25 minutes for me to be able to do that. But you guys see the difference in knowing how to create each of those elements versus just arranging them and putting them together. And that's why I'm always saying, people's like, I want to make my own designs. Do you have the know-how to know how to make these? Like each element, would you have known that that was a series of insets and then using make compound path? And then for this was the only one I had to remember that I had to slice it first and then make the offset and make it a compound path. And then with designing this to make it compound path, crop it, slice it off, and then to weld it all together. So that's one part of it. And then putting it together and all that. So, and you also have to remember that this is me having a reference. So it wasn't like just from scratch. I had a reference, but the person who was designing this probably took longer, like rearranging this, moving that. Like if they didn't have a reference for how they wanted to design it, then that becomes even harder to do this because you don't have an idea. And it was probably like, okay, they probably had a version where, you know, things were moved around. They had the line in the middle and it was separated like that. I had a reference. So it took me like less than 30 minutes to do it because I did have a reference. But when you are a designer, you don't have that. And you have to create these elements, and you can probably create a bunch of elements that you will never use because they just don't work for the design that you are making. See, okay. So you're that type of designer. I don't want to know, like when people say, I want to know how to make SVGs. Well, there is someone who I want to know how to make SVGs, right? They're going to design this for you as an SVG. They're going to sell you this as an SVG. And then all you have to do is choose what type of arrangement you want it to be in. I could have made this to where instead of it being that one, it was a repeat pattern like this. I can make this design anything that I want. Maybe I want this to be in the middle like this. And then this one was like right here. Let's make it a little bit bigger. And then maybe then I had my line here. So am I customizing this? I sure am. But I didn't have to create each element. I'm using something that was ready made and making it my own. So there is a difference in the type of designer that you want to be. So it may seem like I'm being funny when I say, okay, well, what type of SVG are you trying to make? What type? I want to create my own designs. Which type of graphic designer are you trying to be? Give me ready-made shapes and I can arrange them, or teach me how to use crop. I didn't have, like, once they're done, I didn't have to use crop. I don't have to use subtract. I don't have to use any of that to create this, like these designs. Never did I have to touch crop. No make compound path. None of that. But did I make a totally different design? Yes, I did. What type of, like, being honest with yourself so that you know what type of classes to invest in, what type of videos to spend time watching so that you can learn, and not watching videos that really aren't going to serve you well because it's not what you want to learn. All of my videos won't be for everyone. If you're not one that's trying to do that level of designing, then that video just won't work for you. Totally different design from the same exact elements. How many different variations can you make of an Aztec design from those elements? What type of designer do you want to be? Is this helpful for you guys? Does it kind of um, um, do you guys see designing in a different light with this? And that was just like shapes. So imagine someone making the characters with the afros. Do you know how to make hair? Do you know how to draw out eyes? Or when you're saying I want to make my own files, okay, let me buy this element like that's already someone's amazing picture, and then I just want to add words to it the way that I did with Shanita Nicole's image from her Do Dream On Etsy site. She already had all the stuff. I can now add queen love to it. Melanin dripping, melanin popping, uh, um, uh, adjust your crown. I could have made Gemini queen, Gemini princess. So I could have added any words to that. Did I go and create a custom design? Because the original one was one way. I took that and now I made it something else. Can you do that? Yes. Did you create the image? No. Is it possible to create the image and sell that SVG? Yes. What type of designer do you want to be? Yep, you can. You can change anything in there. So now it's different from somebody like me who wants to teach you. I want to learn how to create designs. Am I showing you how to create the elements, or I want to learn how to customize? So can you show me how to take, so now let's say this design was done, right? I like this. I want to know how to customize. So my class wouldn't be to teach you how to make the elements. How do I now change the colors on this? Okay, everything is grouped together. All right, we're either going to group or we're going to release compound path. To change all the colors in here, we're just going to go ahead and release compound path. And to add my line color back, now, well, this one we cut off, so we can't really do that one, but it will be a matter of taking this, and if it was already done, do you want to, here's another thing. I can click on each of these elements, right? And this is only a few, and make them, let's see, undo, ungroup. And I can make them different colors. And imagine if you had a whole board, like a whole big thing of this. So I can teach you how to do this and how to, okay, wait a minute, what's going on here? Ungroup. How to do that, or I taught you how to replicate. So rather than go through all of this again, let's just work on one and make this one different colors, right? And oh gosh, come on. All right. So instead of going through and doing this yellow, blue, like all this on all of them, like that, they're not grouped together. You would have to click on each individual one. So now I can be to where I'm teaching you how to use the replicate tool or how to replicate things. So yeah, it's like that, but I don't want to have to read, like do all of those over again. Guess what? We just delete those and we recreate it. So we're going to go from like here and boom. Well, let's bring this in. So we didn't have to add the color. Did we have that file? Yes. But it would have taken longer, to go through each one of those elements and change the colors on them when I can just make one set, replicate it, and then reline it up. This is the part of like, what part do you really want to learn? I try my best to teach you the program. The how is just, I'm going to show you one way how to do it. Now, because you don't know the why of the program, you don't know how to use these elements, why you do it this way, you're going to only be able to design this one way. Because you're not going to think, okay, let me just make the one and then replicate it, because you're not going to think about the replicate tool. I taught you how to fill the color in. So Shakia taught me how to fill the color in. Okay, she said I have to release compound path and I have to select each part and fill in the color. You're going to take the time to go and do that for each one of these, to change the color, change the color, change the color. And if you had 50 of them, you're doing 50 versus knowing how to edit part and then replicate. Make sense? See, and this also tells me I had what? At one point, I had 117 people watching the last live. They want a good word, pump me up. Yes, preach, professor. Now I come and say, hey, come learn how to design. 27 people, 26 people on here. What are you really wanting out of whatever learning that you're doing? What are you trying to really get from it? Do you just want a feel good message? Pump you up? Yes, I'm ready. Yep, I'm going to make this money. Or do you really want gems? Do you really want content that will, like, it's not about how to make this to really like make the money from this. I want to make this item so I can sell this item for $25. Is this not just as valuable for your business? But people aren't on this one. I don't really care about that. Talk to me about how I can make $1 million. Thanks to you and your academy, I can create from scratch, and I now understand how to use the tools. Thank you. You are very welcome. This was great. You showed how, and I know why, to use the info provided to design my own designs. It's raining outside. Any other comments, questions, feedback, anything like that? So if you are watching the playback of this, be sure to write in the comments, what type of graphic designer are you wanting to be? You want to know how to make the elements? or just arrange and customize the elements? Do you want, once you go to, let's say you want to just arrange and customize, do you want to be someone that just knows how to adjust and change the colors, or truly set it up to your liking? Because that's going to determine what classes you take, you gain the most from. That's going to determine what you want to invest money in. YouTube can definitely show you how to customize. Not too many people are going to teach you the program inside and out where you can actually create the elements. For someone that says, if I had the elements, it's easier. So you can either be the person that just needs those elements to make it easier. You can customize, or now the whole rage is sell digital files. I'm going to tell you how to sell digital content, create digital content, create your SVGs. You can sell this. Do you want to sell just the individual elements so that people can create their own arrangement? Will you create it where it's already made and they can just change the colors? What type of digital designer do you want to be? You see where I'm going with this? You can want to create items. You can want to create digital designs, and there's a lot of money in it. That is what's trending now, is teaching people to be digital creators, because that is residual income that you can create it one time. You sell it. You don't have to do any work once you create it. It's the work to create it. Now, someone else can take that and they can make different designs with it. You can definitely do that. There's money in it. What type of graphic designer do you want to be? In my academy, I teach you how to be that one that can look at something and design it and know how to make all those elements. So once open enrollment opens back up, I hope that some of you guys will choose to join our academy. I do plan to have like some smaller classes, which for those are a lot of just the whys and not the hows and not the whys. My main program is meant to teach you the why and to teach you graphic design so that you can freely design. But as a designer like this, you really can't do that for every single design that you make. That's why there are people who they make their millions, they make their 100,000, they make their tens of thousands just designing. They're never looking to make the mug. The person who designed this probably, and it wasn't made for a mug, it was just a regular background. They probably will never make a mug with it, never put it and take this and fill it inside of letters. They'll never do that. They just created the elements, and they're probably sitting on a stack of cash just from making this design, because someone can take this background and put it inside of a shape. You can take this background and put it inside of words, and then create a custom shirt, create a tumbler, create whatever it is, whatever it is that you want to make, create stickers from it. I can go, and because I created this, you know what? I'll just do the one that I made. So I'm going to take this and just do it really quickly. We're going to go file. Well, let's take all the colors off. File. No, take all the colors off. Come on. There we go. File, save, selection, save to hard drive, JPEG, live. What kind of designer? Tut. I put turt. And then file, merge. So now that I've designed that, I save it as like a JPEG PNG. I can now take letters or numbers. So now when you're learning, I want to learn how to fill in letters. So you can create your own designs so that you can now crop to fill in that. So now that's another type of designer. I want to just know how to take patterns that are already made and I want to crop them to pictures. I mean, I want to crop pictures to letters. I want to crop images to fonts, to shapes. Okay, now wow, that's like that. Okay, how can I make this pop? I want to learn how to make it pop. So I want to learn how to put an offset on it. And then I'm going to make that offset match some of the colors that are on the inside of this. Dang, it's still, I mean, it stand out, but I need a little bit more. Okay, well, guess what? We can add another offset to this. From here, I can make this 30,000 different ways. I can make another offset. Select those two. Make them a compound path. Fill it in with black. And I have an outline around it. I can move. So I'm going to go there. I'm going to offset it. Apply. Actually, no. Delete. Offset. I just got to make it bigger. Apply. It's not going to come out what I wanted it to do. It's not going to do it. All right, but I'm going to take this one, bring it to the front, and subtract. I knew it wasn't going to be exactly where I wanted, but now I create like just an outline around, like, you know, it's like it's a different type of shadow. Do you want to take this outside part? Oh, come on. There we go. Take my transparency down. Bring that up like that. Take all the line colors off. I could even go and duplicate that. Send it to the back. Make it darker. Duplicate that. Send it to the back. All from the same elements, totally different looks. What type of designer are you trying to be? What are you trying to get out of the classes that you take, the videos that you watch? Do you want to learn just the one element? I just need to learn this. Or do you want to know how to use the program so that if you have that vision of this is the type of design I want, you know how to do it? I find a way to unlock creativity, not inspire creativity. I find a way to unlock creativity. So she says, I just want to arrange and customize. And that helps me because I know that I need to have some classes that are based on that, just how to arrange elements. Miss Jackie said, yes, my kind of design. I sent some people over here from my Racoma embroidery training, told them to tell you I sent them. Thank you, Tim. Now you're good. You know, I'm just, you know how I am about staying on brand. So it's like, I want people when they think of it, just like, just what did the professor say? Unlock your creativity. That's why the logo is a combination lock that's unlocked. I'm trying to give you the combination to unlock your creativity. I mean, and even for embroidery, a lot of embroidery designs start as vector images. Then they're able to take it into the program to digitize it. So when it has that path, it knows the stitch lines to go from point to 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 point. That's all an embroidery design is. It has to have a stopping point. It can't have fades. For embroidery, there is no such thing as like fading it off. It has a defined point that that stitch line follows and going do 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 to fill it all in. It starts as basically a vector file to give it a start point and an end point. All right. So hopefully that was helpful for you guys. If it was, give this video a thumbs up. Consider subscribing. Or joining our membership, hit that join button that's next to subscribe. And that's where most of my content will be at. Or you can wait for open enrollment and join there. I will not be doing as many like live Q&As. So thank you for sending them, Tim, but they'll be watching a lot of the older videos because I have years and years. So tell them they can check out years and years and years of content, because a lot of it will go behind the membership because I've given you guys a lot. And yeah, so they said they need help with this programming, and I told them about the amazing paper too, which I need to order. Thank you. Oh yes, my mom says I always forget that. I forget sometimes to plug. When I get into teaching, well, y'all know that's my passion project, is to teach. So when I'm in straight up teacher mode, I forget sometimes to talk about that amazing paper that we have, which is called Honestly Speaking Sublimation Paper. It allows you to sublimate as low as 365 degrees, as fast as 30 seconds. It's available on our website, hsinc365.com, hsinc365.com. We sell sublimation ink, sublimation paper, pigment ink. We have the ink for the workforce printers, the eco tank printers. For eco tanks, if you don't have a 16600, we recommend just getting the Formula B ink. This is if you have like a 16600. It's somewhat the same, but just a little bit different. But this is like the main one if you have like an eco tank. It's still going to get amazing colors. I showed that in a video. And like I said, our paper, we have fast dry. We have the tacky sheets. We're actually going to have on the site tomorrow the tacky sheet sample packs, because those are now ready to go. So we will have that on the site as well. So check out our site, hsinc365.com, for that Change the Game sublimation paper and that Black of Law Blacks sublimation ink. All right. Let's see. Oh, you told them that too. Yay. Very helpful. Have to rewatch after work. I love that design right there. What, the one on there or my logo? It all depends. I'm not sure when that came in. If you're talking about my logo or the one that I had on screen. But yes, thank you guys so very much for watching. Again, subscribe, hit the bell so that you're notified. If I do, I'm still going to do some content. It just won't be as much, especially with my live Q&As. There won't be much of those on the free platform anymore. And I'm going to really focus more so on my academy. Like I really have to put a lot of energy into that because of how I want that to grow. And just, now that I'm going to have to really segment it out, I know now that I have some people that want to be straight up designers and they want to learn to design from scratch. And there are some that just want to know how to arrange certain items or maybe just add text to it. So I'm trying to make my academy fit that. So I'm going to be investing more time into the academy and creating those courses and creating those contents and scheduling that out. So now segment it out. It's not going to leave me a lot of time for here outside of the membership one. So she says, I want it all. Wow, that's amazing. Hopefully you will be buying Honestly Speaking ink this time to put into your 7710. We still sell the cartridges for that. I have been using Silhouette Design for 15 years. Thanks to you, I'm learning so much more than the basics I've been using. Wow, you've had it long. You've had it longer than me. um, I want to do both. And she said, I want it all. All right, y'all. I am out of here so that I can take a little break and rest my eyes. And I have to upload for some people who didn't have the pricing calculator, and prepare for class if you are a creative business enrollee. Don't forget, we have a session tonight at 7 p.m. Yep, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right, y'all. Until next time, have a great one. Continue to unlock your creativity and be incredible.